Good morning, viewers. This is Kasturi again. Today I've come to discuss the Cell, the Unit of Life, the first chapter, which I'm discussing for the last few videos. I'll discuss today the question answers. I told you some of the this one ICC pattern questions I will start discussing from this class. So this I will discuss along with you this chapter, first chapter, which I'm discussing. So I will discuss this question answer section. The question answers are, these type of questions are available in the ICSE. I mean, they come in the ICSE exams in your class 9 syllabus, okay, not of the class 10. When I'll start discussing of class 10, then I'll start telling you about the class 10 question patterns. Now this I'm starting with class 9. So for this type of questions, you need to subscribe my channel and stay with me so that you can get some tips of regarding these questions, okay, and answers also, obviously the answers. So uh, uh, do press the like button if you like it, and I'm sure you will like it. And so you can also share with your friends so that they can also be benefited from these videos. Okay, so let me start with today's question answer sections. Okay, so first question for today is, which cell organelle? These are objective type of questions which are coming in these few years in this ICSE class 9 syllabus. So go through them. First, I'll start with which cell organelle is not bound by a membrane? Okay, so this answer is lysosome. Okay. See, sorry, ribosome. The answer is ribosome is the cell organelle which does not have a membrane, that does not is not bound by a membrane. Okay, next question is, which cell is visible by a naked eye? By naked eye, we can see the cells of the birds, that is the eggs which we see. These are also the cells. Okay, the eggs of the birds and lizards, these are all the cells which we see, which we can see through our naked eye. Okay, next question is, why raw mango is green but ripe mango is yellow? We have seen that raw mangoes are green in color, but ripe mangoes are yellow in color. Why is it so? Because ripe mango, the raw mangoes, they contain chlorophyll in them. Okay, and when they ripen, the chlorophyll in them that disintegrates, and that is replaced by carotene and xanthophyll. Okay, which gives a reddish yellow color to the mango. Okay, and that's why when it becomes ripe, it becomes that reddish yellow color, the typical mango color that comes. Okay, so it is because that the chlorophyll of the raw mango, that when it ripens, when the mango ripens, it changes to carotene. It disintegrates, rather it disintegrates and is replaced by carotene and xanthophyll. Okay. Next is, why plasma membrane is regarded as a semi-permeable membrane? This is because that it allows certain substances to get into the cell, and not all. Okay, and also it allows only certain substances to come out of the cell, not all. Okay, so that's why it is known as semi-permeable membrane, because it allows certain substances to pass through in and out of the cell. Okay, that's why it is semi-permeable in nature. Then why, rather name the suicide bag of the cells, and why is it so? Why, which organelle is known as the suicide bag of the cell? It is the lysosome. Okay, why is it so? Because it destroys old and injured organelles and even digests them intracellularly. Okay, So it destroys old and injured organelles. It can destroy it and then digest them intracellularly. And that's why they are known as suicide bag of the cell. Within the cell, it digests it. Even it can digest the own cell also, which has been destroyed. So this way it is known as suicide bag of the cell. Next is, why is the cell wall known as why the cell wall is freely permeable? Why is it so? Because it does not obstruct any substance for flowing in and out of the cell. So it and allows the entry and exit of all the things within and out of the cell. And that's why it is a total permeable in nature. Okay. Next is, why is it difficult to analyze protoplasm chemically? Why? Because we know that protoplasm is a living substance. Okay. But when for analyzing, when a person or when a scientist, he takes the protoplasm out of the living organism for analyzing, and then it loses its protoplasmic nature. That's why it's very difficult to analyze. Okay. See, because the chemical composition is very complex, and it stops being protoplasm as soon as it is moved out of the organism. Then what is called the energy currency of the cell? So what is energy currency of the cell? It is the mitochondria. Because why? Because there the energy is stored, okay, in the form of ATP. ATP is called, sorry, not the mitochondria. Mitochondria, energy house of the cell. So energy currency is ATP because it is the principal molecule for storing and transferring energy in the cells. It is the principal molecule which forms which is used for storing and transferring energy in the cells, and can be compared to storing money in the bank, and that's why it's known as energy currency of the cell. Okay, so ATP is the energy currency of the cell because it is the principal molecule for storing and transferring energy in the cells, and therefore it can be compared to the storing money in the bank. Okay. Next is, which organelle is found only in an animal cell? It is the centrosome with the centrioles. It is never found in the plant cells. Who found out that plants are made up of cells? M.G. Scladen. Okay. M.G. Scladen in 1898 proposed that plants are made up of cells. Okay. Next, some other questions. Okay, some more practice questions we have come across. So first one, these are questions have come in the ICSE. Some practice questions also are there. And I've chosen some of the questions from the this test practice questions, as well as some questions which have come also of this chapter only. That's why these are only 1, 2 like that. Okay. So don't get confused. When I'll discuss have complete all the chapters, then I will discuss all the question answers all together. Okay. So given below are the sets of 5 terms each. Rewrite the terms in correct order in a logical sequence, beginning with the term that is underlined. See here, the question is nuclear membrane, cell wall, cytoplasm, nucleolus, and cell membrane. You have to arrange in the correct order with the underlined word in the beginning, placing the underlined word in the beginning and then following the others. So first is cell wall. Okay, according to the this option, the underlined option is first is cell wall. So first to cite cell wall, then you can picturize the cell, generalized cell also, the plant cell here, because the cell wall is there. So you need to picturize the plant cell. So in the plant cell, first comes the cell wall, then the cell membrane. So first one is this one. So 1, then the cell membrane, 2, then the cytoplasm, 3, then comes the nuclear membrane, the 4, and this one nucleolus is 5. Okay. Now choose the best correct answer. The barrier between the protoplasm and the outer environment in a plant cell is what? The barrier between the protoplasm and the outer environment in a plant cell, what is that? That is a plasma membrane. Okay, the protoplasm here in the cell, when it is coming to outer environment, that is the cytoplasm. So that has a plasma membrane or a cell membrane, which is cutting off the protoplasm from the outer environment. So it comes the plasma membrane. Okay, because cell wall is not the cutting out of the outer environment, because what, the cell wall is non-living, right? And the substances also come in and out of the cell frequently, okay, without any obstruction. So that environment also is there. Okay, but only the plasma membrane can separate this protoplasm with the outer environment, protoplasm from the outer environment. Okay, so this is the plasma membrane. Okay, this is the right answer. Then nuclear membrane is also not there, because nucleus, it has the nucleus is very much inside the protoplasm, I mean cytoplasm, and tonoplast is a membrane of the vacuole. Now give appropriate biological and technical terms of the following. The energy currency of the cell, I told you it's ATP. Okay, the outermost covering of the vacuole, that is tonoplast. Okay. Actually, I'm not habituated by using this pen of the this zoom pen. Okay, that's why it's, I'm writing in a very bad handwriting, so I'll pronounce it out. You can note it down in your on this one copy or something, which you are noting it down, in which you are noting it down. The cell organelle that helps in intracellular digestion, that is lysosome. Okay, it is also called the suicidal bag. Okay, now you need to draw a neat diagram, label diagram of a plant cell, and based on the diagram, draw the above things. Okay, first, okay, I'll tell you, just a minute. I'll erase all these things. Then I'll come to the diagram. Okay. Okay, now I'll come to the diagram. So okay, now I'll draw a diagram for you in the offer. Just a minute. It is asked to draw a plant cell. Okay, so for this, I'll draw you a plant cell. this is a cell. Then this is the cell wall. Okay. Okay. Double layered. Shit. Wait, this is coming. Okay. Something wrong is there. I'll tell you what is it. This is the cell. Okay. This is the cell wall. Okay. Now I'm coming to the organelles. Okay. So first, let me see what are the organelles which it is telling about. Okay. Now see, first is they are telling about the sites of, the sites of protein synthesis. So the sites of protein synthesis is ribosomes. Okay. Then a cell organelle that is absent in a plant cell, that is centrosome with centrioles. Absent in a plant cell, that is centrosome with centrioles, that is found in animal cells. Okay. Then the supporting framework of a cell. Supporting framework is endoplasmic reticulum. Okay. Then the plastids that contain DNA and have the capacity to divide. Okay. Okay. So see, draw a neat diagram and label this. Or okay, the plant cells, we need to label it, and then you give a suitable term for this. So the sites of protein synthesis, you have to write it down, not mark in the diagram. So first is the site of protein synthesis is ribosomes. Then a cell organelle that is absent in plant cell, that is centrosome with centrioles. The supporting framework of the cell, that is endoplasmic reticulum. The plastids that contain DNA and have the capacity to divide, that is chloroplast. The structures that carry the hereditary units, that is what? That is the genes. The cell organelles that regulates all the metabolic functions, that is the nucleus. And the structure that is semi-permeable in nature, this is the cell membrane. Okay, now we come to the diagram. Okay, this is the plant cell I'm talking about. So you need to draw a vacuole. Okay, so a vacuole is drawn, a large conspicuous vacuole is drawn here. You can erase this. Okay. A large conspicuous vacuole is drawn here. Okay, so this vacuole is this is bound by a membrane of tonoplast. Okay, that's known as tonoplast. Then you need to draw some mitochondria here, the cristae with this, okay, like this. Okay, then some endoplasmic reticulums. Okay, then some ribosomes, some are attached to them like dots. Okay, then a nucleus, a large conspicuous nucleus, which is shifted to one side due to the presence of the vacuole, with the nucleolus, dark nucleolus in it, and with the chromatin network inside it, which during cell division, they become prominent to form the chromosomes. Okay. And then certain plastids like the chloroplast is drawn. Okay. This has some DNA material along with it, which they can divide. Okay, some chloroplasts, then some lysosomes. Okay, then some Golgi apparatus. Okay, like this, you can draw all the cell organelles which are present in the cell. So these are the main cell organelles are present inside the plant cell. You can check some other organelles and also label them. Okay, so first you need to label. This is the cell wall. Okay, this is the cell membrane. Okay, this is the vacuole. Then this is the nucleus I told you. Okay, so like this you can draw and mark them. It's very dirty. I'm writing it because of this pen. I'm not habituated with that. You need to draw like this and label it along with it. With you can use some colors for the when you are drawing in the home for practice, then you can use some colors so that you can remember the things. Like the plastids, the chloroplast, you can draw with green so that you can remember that that is green in color. Okay, like that you can draw all the organelles and remember it one by one. Okay, next. I'm rubbing it because that this will picturize in the next video also, this next page also. That's what I'm rubbing it. Okay, next. Some more practice questions like find the odd one out of with the reason: chlorophyll, carotene, xanthophyll, and chromatin. See, chlorophyll, carotene, xanthophyll, these are all the plastids, which the colors which give the color, that give coloration to the plants. Okay, but chromatin, that is not a color. That is the, this is the pigments which give the color to the plants. Okay, the chlorophyll, the carotene, the xanthophyll, these are all the pigments. But chromatin is not a pigment. It is the chromosomes which it becomes during the cell division. Okay, the thread-like structure present in the nucleus. Okay, then who discovered the cells and how? So the first one, the odd one out, is chromatin. Okay, now who discovered the cells and how? See, the cells were form the structure of an entity. Okay, any organism, any living thing is made up of the cells. So it is that entity is defined through its cells. A group of cells form a tissue. Further, an organ ultimately forms an organ system. They form fundamental functions and life processes such as respiration, digestion, excretion, etc. in both unicellular and cellular entities. Okay. They perform all the activities independently. Hence, the cells are the structure and functional units of life. Okay. And this was discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665. So, Robert Hooke discovered the cell in 1665. How he discovered? By examining a thin slice of cork. When he was examining a thin slice of cork, he found when under a microscope, he observed that the cork had some structures like honeycomb. I've seen a honeycomb, no, hexagonal structures. So hexagonal structures, tiny compartments were there in the cell in the cork. Okay, the minuscule boxes, the very minute boxes of this type of in this honeycomb structures which he found in the cork, that those he named as cells. Okay, so then what is the cell called? Why is the cell called the structure and functional unit of life? Because I told you it is the structural unit of an entity, and it forms a tissue grouping up to form tissue. Then again, the tissues group up to form organ, then organs to organ systems. Okay. And so they form fundamental functions and life processes like respiration, digestion, excretion in both the unicellular and multicellular organisms. So they perform all the activities, they independently they perform, and together they form an organ system. Therefore, they are referred to as structure and functional units of life. Okay. So for making a structure, you need a brick of a you need to lay down a brick before you build a building. So that brick is the cell. So that, like that, when an organism is formed, the smallest brick on which the organism lies, that is the cell. That's why it's a structural unit and functional unit, because each and every cell performs a independent function like respiration, digestion, excretion, everything is processed. Okay. And together with them, they form the organ system. First the tissue, then to organ, then to organ system. So like that, it forms also the fundamental units of functional unit of also the units of life. Okay. Next. How do substances like carbon dioxide, water move in and out of the cell? So for moving in and out of the cell, carbon dioxide uses the process of diffusion. Okay, so these cellular waste accumulates in higher concentrations in a cell, and outside the cell, the concentration of carbon dioxide is less. The cellular waste concentration is less. So what happens? They diffuse out through the cellular membrane, cell membrane, into the outside the cell. Okay. Like that, the difference in concentration level, no, that inside and outside of the cell, that causes the carbon dioxide to diffuse through the cell membrane to the outside. Okay, it moves from that is diffusion is what the substances move from a higher concentration to the lower concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. Okay, until equilibrium is reached. That is the diffusion process. Okay. Next is which type of cell division is required for growth and repair of the body, and which type is involved in the formation of gametes. So for regeneration, growth, and this one repairing of the body parts, that requires mitosis. Two types of cell divisions are there, mitosis and meiosis. So first is mitosis, where the cell divides in for growth and repair of the bodies. Whereas for formation of the gametes, the meiosis takes place. Okay, there is meiosis which taking place, giving the gametes half number of chromosomes. But in mitosis, the chromosomes divide into equal numbers. Okay. Next is How does an amoeba obtain its food? Amoeba obtains its food by endocytosis. Or as its cell membrane is flexible enough, it forms a pseudopodia. It moves like encloses the food particle which is seized through its pseudopodia by making the pseudopodia and making a food vacuole and then engulfing it. Okay, like that. So amoeba then secretes some digestive enzymes to bring about the digestion of the engulfed particle once the food is trapped inside. So this process is known as endocytosis. Okay. Next is what is osmosis? Osmosis is a process of movement of water molecules from its region of higher concentration to its region of lower concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. That is known as osmosis. Okay, so this is all about this chapter. Thank you for watching, and please do subscribe so that you can continue with my videos and know much more things which are yet to come. Okay, and please do press the like button so that I can produce you good videos and that can motivate me for producing nice videos for you that can help you in your studies. And hope you are liking the videos, and share, so you do share with your friends so that they can also be benefited from these videos. And if you have any doubt, please do write in the comment box. And if you want to know some other things regarding this chapter or some other chapters, so please write it down. You can also refer to my email ID. It's kasturi74@gmail.com. Okay, thank you for watching and have a good day.